everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Wow! Audra stuck to her guns in the face of Tucker's intensely persuasive pitch and sent him packing. I couldn't help but be impressed, and it all left me looking forward to what her next chapter will look like. Unfortunately, her recruitment of Nate is nothing new for the character, but we have been getting glimpses into what makes Audra Charles tick. What with her opening up to Nikki about her father's drinking problem. In a twist, that vulnerability has made her into a liability for Nikki, who isn't up to facing an employee walking on eggshells around her and reminding her of her issue every day. The preview indicates that Audra and Nikki will part ways, which conveniently frees up the younger woman to pursue Glissade. I have to wonder if Audra will go back to the office and manufacture a conflict that leads to Nikki firing her. After all, she did say she was going to take a page from Nate's playbook, and he's been canned from his last 2 jobs. Bottom line, I'm intrigued to see if Audra can flip the script on Tucker. If the student can successfully beat the master at his own game, McCall will be left with absolutely nothing. In related commentary, Diane said her money's on Ashley to prevail in her battle against Tucker. And while it may be mostly going on in Ashley's head, it kinda got real when she boarded a flight to Paris, much to Jack's chagrin. Their argument was compelling to me in that I could see his point. Why would Ashley give Tucker this kind of power over her? As well as hers, which is that she just has to know the truth about what went down. Given that Tucker urged her to go back to the cafe and ask the waiter, there's a good chance said waiter has been compromised. We're gonna need to go over his head to the manager and get security footage. While I didn't have great confidence in Ashley's ability to handle this in her current state, having Tracy by her side makes it a whole different story. It's worth noting that many fans are beyond over the storyline, so let's hope this wraps it up. You go girls, kudos to the young and restless writers for not wrapping up Nikki's drinking problem in a week, and for depicting it as the rough road it is for so many. Now that she's leaning on Jack, I really have to wonder what the point of Seth was and whether he'll turn up again. As for Jack agreeing to keep it a secret from Victor that he's the one Nikki's turning to for support, well, we all know that won't end well. If this is to go in a soapy direction, Victor's going to think they're having an affair. Just when Cole brought Victoria the good news that Claire's mental state was improving, came the preview in which Victor informs the family there's been a fire at the institution where crazy Aunt Jordan was incarcerated. Given Jordan's frantic call to Claire this week, in which she was totally focused on keeping their connection intact, there's only one place that Batty could be headed presuming she survived the fire, directly back to Genoa City without passing go or collecting $200. Just in time for February sweeps. Of course, the news that Jordan may have perished could put another wrench in the works. Look for a story on that next week. Sharon's expression was priceless when she walked in on Chance and Summer with their heads together laughing. As was Summer's gushy reaction, here's Genoa City's newest mogul. It was all very awkward, but everyone handled it well. Unfortunately, everyone handling things well doesn't lead to much, if anything, in the way of drama. Speaking of, Devin and Daniel had a very civil conversation about the latter having cheated on the former sister. All very anticlimactic. That said, Devin doesn't have a leg to stand on when it comes to lecturing anyone about cheating, so he was wise to remember that. It seems he also remembered how it turned out when he punched Nate, which was a good thing for Daniel, who didn't end up on the floor or with a cut on his hand that would end his career as an artist and creator. Nonetheless, all this maturity is boring. We'll just have to hope Lily makes up for it when she finds out, which may not be for a while given that lame excuse that it's just not a good time to give her this kind of news. I mean, is there ever a good time to find out your boyfriend is getting back with his ex young and restless, failed to go an entire week without someone changing jobs? This time, it was Abby steamrolling Devon into putting her on the board at Chancellor Winters. Half an hour after they began discussing it, she had hired herself to work in the C-suite, which has become, unfortunately, a drinking game word for this soap.